You know, when we made that one a couple of days ago about afraid, selfish, or stupid. Um, uh, the one that inhibits you guys the most is obviously afraid, right? Because if you're a believer, then you're not selfish and you're not stupid, right? So what's inhibiting you? Judah Krishnamurti, having heard all this, you as a human being, why don't you change? What prevents you? You can't love your children. You would end all wars, right? Or perhaps and I think that's the main thing, okay, that keeps what we perceive in rabbinic tradition as the devil and Satan in manipulation and delusions of power is fear. Okay? And if you let fear cripple you, Blaise Pascal, you doom your children to eternal wretchedness, right? And then they inherit hell on earth. Petroleum in their bodies, being programmed like a computer to accept genocide and accept voluntary homicide and suicide, and, and that's fundamentally flawed. It's fundamentally wrong to deny something as perfect as the Lord's Prayer and then accept competition. Could you imagine Jesus, telling you, oh no, go fight like hell for a lot of money, and then the people that hold all the money in Fort Knox will mass murder people over that money. And then after you fight like hell for that money and don't stand up for Lord's Prayer, go on national television and tell everybody this was all due to my Savior, Jesus Christ. Could you imagine Jesus saying that to the apostles at the Last Supper? That's just wrong, right? So when you hear yourself say something out of your mouth, and people will say that and then keep saying that, and other people that will have said it, and then other people can listen to it and they'll say it too. And just because, people say 2 and 2 is 17 and everybody agrees to it, then does that make it 17? And if everybody says that I'm God and I'm gravity and everybody agrees to that, does that make me God and gravity? Right? Now, if 2 and 2 is 4, which it is, okay, it's not 17, and you can't take the other 13 and use it as variable interest rates to top people in the fighting over delusions of mass murder and take your money and bet it on this horse and triple your money and all that other crazy shit that insane people do. Right? When one person says it's for to save children from genocide through economic bad brain chemical addiction activity, and everybody else agrees it's 17, then he's the only way, truth, and the life. Everybody else is a faith-forsaken, rotten, murdering liar, whether they are afraid, selfish, or stupid, or all of the above, right? Okay. I'm going to load this up. I'm going to go out to the rec hall and shoot me up some hoop show. And sitting there listening to that video, watching that video with Selena Quintanilla Perez, No Me Quiero Más, which is one of my favorites. It almost brings tears to my eyes because it just reminds, I look forward to the future. And they said my religious beliefs were selfish. They have a young man come and talk to me and say that to me. Another guy told me, and I was the idealist and I get people killed. They came in, they mocked me, and they're real shitty to me. And when I look at that, I think, when there's a kid like me born in the future, you won't have scientists and corporations that call themselves religions watching his house, watching his sexuality, judging him and saying he's not good enough, he's not doing it good enough. And then getting together because no one was watching their life because they're not the person that's the source of faithful communications for the book of Revelation. Getting together and dressing up in robes, okay, and then voting and electing a guy who's pretending to be like King David and me to tell everybody in the world, this is the guy like King David. Now, give us your money because we want to keep you in the church because money's what makes the world go round, according to us and Linda Creed. And Linda Creed had bad brain activity. I like her songs, but you don't need to write songs for money to pay the devil and Satan to live here, right? So I'm going to load this one up. If you're mad at me for what I just said, then you're probably stupid and selfish. If you understand what I just said, fear not, don't be afraid. Okay, when the apocalypse is clear to everybody, where are you going to be all on that day? All you little Nina Simones out there? All right, peace.